Hello. Hello.
Did you see it?
Three people is still, you know, in one game, a fairly good amount, I feel. So yeah, alright, now I just need to find, alright, create an invite to, looks, alright, got 10 seconds remaining on the clock, swap over to this screen, and we're rolling. Hello everyone, happy Monday. Yes, it's Monday today.
Furry Cures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
From the picture I saw on Twitter from your tweet, I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6. Oh, no. I don't know if... I don't think the game can handle like 5 or 6 people, honestly. I know it can handle like 4 maximum, and I feel like with the size of the map and the game that it is, 4 people I feel like is, you know, an okay amount to have. All right. Let me do my 20 squats real quick. And then I will double check in on Jason and Puffin to see whether they're comfortable going into like a voice chat. It's a party game. you play it as a party with like 4 peeps and such, and you get to be all kinds of animals. All right. Big stretch for the big boy. Big stretch for the big boy. All right, let me get these. Let me get these squats out of the way real fast. All right, here we go. We're gonna speed run this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squat, furry cures. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty then. Yeah, excuse me. Also, wow. Calm yourself, boy. Calm yourself with the lag. Alright. Should be relatively okay. I'm just gonna close that program there, move that over there, move that over there. I don't need this. Oh, if I can just like... Okay, I'm gonna close this window here. And minimize this. What? No zebra guns allowed? What do you mean, Puffin? What do you mean, Puffin? Get in the voice chat. Where are you? Where are you? Are you in the private stream? No. Are you in the where are you? Where are you in my infinite number of voice chats? Puffin. I demand finger. Gimme Scola? I don't know what that is. Scola. Give you cola? Wait, are you in my... Hang on. Just a minute. You're there as a streamer? Where is Puffin? I don't see the Puffin. I don't see Mx Puffin. But yeah, I need to explain to Furry Cures what this game is. It's a party game. Basically, you play as, like, you know, one of very many animals you can choose from, and you're trying to get from point A to point B without dying. And in each of the rounds, you put these obstacles or blocks in the way to either make it easier or harder to get from point A to point B. The person with the most points wins. Easy stuff. So. Alright, let's see. Can I invite people within? Yes, I can. Alright, so if I send... Can I send them an invite from within here? Hang on. Players... How do I invite people? They didn't really give me online options. So that follows all the players. There should be a means of... Alright, so there's... Alright, so Puffin is online. Trading. Manage. Send message. Voice chat. Did they... How did they expect us to, like, you know, invite people? Invite friends. Animal Mario Party to the death? Yes. Animal Mario Party to the death. That's not the right guide. Ow. Where in the world is... How is it so hard to, like, invite people? Like, are they just expecting me to... Lobby. Ah, here we go. Invite friends. Alright. Puffin... And moderator Jason. Alright, I sent those invites. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, you can't see it on like, without going to my screen. What's the others can join this lobby directly by entering the code at the main menu. You forgot about your bonk command you just created? No, I didn't forget about the bonk command. It's an exclamation point. Oh, one of the things I forgot to do was where is it? I need to update something. So, because I have the redeem for bonk, I think, but it's going to. It's not going anywhere. So I got to do GrantZeebs, and I need to duplicate it. Duplicate. Actually, no, I don't need to. Actually, duplicating this command might not do it. That might be a bad idea. I won't do that. So yeah. I'll leave it to like my moderators and such. Ah, all right. I found them. I found them. Hello. Wait, what? Why is my thingy-majiggy not working? Settings. Hello. Hello.
Oh, there you are.
There we go. All right. Cool. Hopefully I'm not coming out like choppy or anything like that.
No.
Awesome. Cool. I was a little bit worried. Also, you tiny puffin.
Good.
You so tiny. Why are you so tiny?
Good. Oh god, this game is so loud. What the fuck?
All right, hang on
Can
a
you
second.
invite me again?
Yeah, I can invite you again. Invite friends. Puffin. All right. I am going to get a browser source. Fugi reactive puffin. And let's see, what are your dimensions? 700 by 700. Okay. And hit OK. And then I'll move you over here. So you're on my couch. Like a little plushie. Look at you.
Threw me at the wall.
I can't do that. I just got out of studio mode, so
Oh.
I can't do that, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, I gave you like a shout out earlier, but for those of you who, you know, aren't following the good old Mix Puffin, would you like to introduce yourself, Puffin?
I'm gay.
Hi, gay. I'm Grant.
Hell yeah.
No. Mix Puffin. Not someone wrote in McPuffin. It's like MX, right?
Yes. Mix.
Yeah. Wait, are you like hitting me right now? Oh, you're just running around. Oh my god, this game is loud, you're right.
It's very loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just had to like independently lower the volume on that one until it's like practically mute. Oh my god, I just realized the problem in having you be so big.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to like get rid of that when I was... Alright, where is it? Alright. I'm gonna... What? Nope, that's the group. I need to make... There you go. You're small again.
Hi.
Alrighty then. Jason, before we proceed any further, would you like to join into the VC, or would you like to be a silent protagonist? I need to get back into the game and make sure I haven't... Oh, horse. I'm so disappointed I don't have the zebra.
Rip. How do you get the zebra?
Apparently it's a costume. It's like an alternative costume for the horse. Silent at the moment. Fair enough. Cease. Also, I can pause the music in the background so then that way I'm not being hit by like 4 different sources. But yeah, so apparently costumes are up here. And you can like swap to different ones. I don't have anything unlocked for the horse, unfortunately. So you're going for a raccoon?
I don't even see the cosmetic.
Oh, you don't even see... Like, there's a shelf right here.
It's all covered.
Ah, okay. Alright, let's see, what are they gonna go for? So if you like, what's Jason doing?
Stretch is just screen big and wide.
Stretch, just making it bigger. You have to like select one of the farm animals that's down at the bottom there. So like, you gotta select one of those farm animals. Hopefully. There we go. Hello. Alright, so spacebar, so directionals, like the WAS do normal things, holding down crouches you. Shift makes you like sprint, and then spacebar has you jump, and then you can like wall jump and such like that. Oop. Oh. I think I've put Jason in a bit of a difficult scenario. Wait, what did you do? Alright, there we go. Oh, Jason probably doesn't know about the... So, top tip, you can jump off the walls. All of these are like meant to be custom levels, which won't work out too well for us because I haven't loaded any. We'll start with the Is there any way for me to accelerate this? Nah, we're just doing a countdown, I see. So have you played Ultimate Chicken Horse before, Puffin?
No.
This is all new for you. Alright, well the farm I think is like the first one we play. And the way it works is you can pick up like any one of these items. So I can pick up like this. There's only like 4 items to choose from. So you got a teleporter at the top, you got some spikes on the left. And then you place them somewhere. So for example, I'm gonna place my thingy-madiggy here. And then you have like spikes so you can have them like as a trap on one of the railings. If you get hit once, you die. So yeah, and so you gotta like avoid. Did you not hear me say like it's a one-hit kill thing?
It sucks to suck, I guess.
Oh man. Taking on the god gamer. Oh, look at that. You got like a point maybe for... Alright, let's see. And then we got a clock. Alright, we got a punchy thing. And we've got a catapult. Don't know what the clock does. Does he not like either of them? Okay, cool. Is there a way for me... Ah, yeah, okay, so I can rotate blocks with either the scroll wheel. Alright, here we go. Oh! Nice work, Jason. Sticky. Oh yeah, and then like that combine at the bottom. I think that's called a combine. Is that what it is? Like the... Alright, gonna grab that. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. No! There, now the God Gamer is getting into their groove. No, do not put the black hole so close to the start. I hate you. I hope you realize I hate you for that. No, no. No winners, no points. All right, let's see if I'm gonna fix this. Oh wait, I forgot the TNT blows things. All right, I'm gonna put a brick here. Oh no. I can do this. I just need to... I'm not cheating! Oh, no, 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 no. I got the coin. Nope, didn't give me a point, damn. Oh, it's giving you 10% because you've somehow Wait, did you nerf yourself?
Yes.
That's why you're only getting 10%. Oh my... Puffin, what are you doing? If we get TNT, I'm getting rid of the, something. Come on, Jason, you can do it. Oh. Gaming! Oh. I'm getting rid of some things, okay? I'm gonna get rid of...
Wait, you get rid of multiple things?
If I can... Oh, I can... Normally it can, get rid of at least... I guess it can only get rid of, one thing. Alright. Glue sticky. We keep dying and leaving ourselves in almost the same spots.
Good.
Alright. Ah, there we go. There's the bomb, the big one. The big boy. Why is it... Everyone's picked something.
Did it too quick.
Zoom level. Oh, okay, cool. So. There we go. All right. So I can get rid of... I'm going to get rid of these two things. I didn't know it was going to do that. I thought it was just a flower. That one was funny. Oh no, Jason. If you hold the space bar, you get to jump higher. I swear he knew how to wall ride. Just a bit. And they decide to just give up. be here. 3 turns left. Oh, okay. So they're just... Wait, did you just crack something open?
No.
It sounded like you did. It sounded like a cold one with the boys. Alright,
Don't nuke everything.
I'm not nuking everything. I'm just nuking, like, a specific area. Alright. I think it's Jason is thinking they could, like, do a sneakies, but... So if you, like, you know, jump... Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm still jumping on the... You're gonna take a while to try and win, Puffin, because you somehow, like, gave yourself a 10% handicap.
Good.
Alright, hang on. Just to stop Jason from... Well, at least he got a point for a trap. The second we're out of this, however, I'm gonna double check why it's doing that to you.
No, I know exactly why it's doing that to me.
Yep.
I gave myself a 10% handicap at the start.
You shouldn't have done that.
I do what I want. I would have won by now.
Maybe.
Times my current score by 10. It'd be much further than yours, I think.
Okay, but if you times anyone's score by, Oh, wait, you mean, like... Alright, hang on. There.
What the hell hit?
Oh. I don't know.
I didn't even know what I got killed by.
Yeah, there we go. I hope Jason's okay. Is he okay? Jason was kicked from the gate. Why was he? Is he okay? Hang on. Ding donk. Sorry, just needed to alt tab and find him. Alright, did we get anything new? No, we did not. Can I... So he must have gotten... Oh, I can't invite him from Steam. I have to, like, click on lobby invite and then send the invite. Turn to game. Alright. What would be... Alright, where is your... Alright, cool. Raccoon is... Excellent. Alright, grab this. Because I think the way this works is you have to, like, go across and then... Yeah, I can't think of a way... And then an extra box. And then... Wait, unless... Is this a... Okay, no, I thought that was going to be like a cheeky hole. Nope! I thought it was going to... No pressure. Alright, hang on a sec. Yep. Return to treehouse. So yeah, sorry, Jason got like something happened to their net. Ding, ding, and where'd it go? Oh, dinner's gonna be ready. Okay, whoopsies. I misread his message. My bad. I misread his message.
Waterfall was done anyway.
Waterfall would have been dumb, but I am interested in this question mark over at the pier. Because you can get costumes and such like that through that. Yeah. Dink, and then back into here. So wait, we start from there. And then we need to get to there. Okay, cool. Easy. Okay, hopefully we don't, like, sink into the... If this is quicksand, I'm gonna be... that's not the one with the rotation on it. Oh, there's a wave! Yay! Alright, I'm wondering what the God Gamer is thinking of. Ding, 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 donk, donk, ding. What was that for?
Fuck you. Wait, how are you running so fast?
Ah, the shift key. Oh.
Haha. Checkmate.
I'll win this again. Oh, cool. All right. Stairs. Oh, I can't put them here. All right. Here we go. All right. Stairs. You're just making this hard. You know you have to like try and get there, right? Diplomatic and get rid of that so you have like a... I should have blown up the spike thingy-majiggy as well. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this here just to give myself some... Why is it giving us extras?
Because there's only 2 people.
Fair enough. No. No, no. Oh, I see the problem. You can get crushed in this game?
I figured.
Oh, this is gonna be a bit trickier. Wait, what does this do?
Probably give you more time.
Oh, I just put it in an awkward spot then. No, Puffin, don't do this. Don't ruin my normal track. Right, here it goes. Yeah! Oh, you don't have to deal with the water that time? Oh! Wait, what? I thought you... I saw you get hit, like, twice by Blaze. How did you avoid that?
Not too good.
No. What are you doing? What are you doing with that bomb? Oh, okay. Sure. And then extra box. Gonna put this... Ah, damn it. I even put that there. I was like... Oh. How? You're just like avoiding it. You're just like, oh, look at me. You're just being like, boom. Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna put you... Alright, let's see what happens when I put it here. Then...
Why would you do that?
I want to know what happens. Oh. It just took the arrow and shot it elsewhere. Damn, I would have like...
Very nice.
Hey, you did that. No, oh, you grabbed the bomb, didn't you? Doing some strong calculations, are we?
You just fucked yourself.
Oh. Damn it.
Wow, you made that easier.
Oh, you're so close to winning now. This is not great.
Are you sure it was a bad idea having a fucking thing?
Wait, I need to do the calculations of the trajectories. Here. And then wait, doesn't that just stop you?
What do you mean?
Oh, I got caught up in my thingy-madiggy.
Rip.
Ripperoonies. Rip-roonies.
R.I.P.
Alrighty. Did I get a new costume? There was like... thingy-madiggy. No?
I still don't have anything with me. They're all covered.
Alright, rooftops. We'll go for something classic. Dun, dun. Bump. I just realized how dumb mine was. I'm gonna put the coin here.
Furrycures 1221 paid me to say Grant is big stimky, but he is also the big cutie. He's a hunker hunk with a badonk badonk. He's a big super ultra uber cutie.
Well, that was really nice what Furry Curious has said.
Oh.
Alright, here we go. Gaming! No! Is that what a raccoon is supposed to sound like?
Maybe.
Thought it was like, you know. Alright, this. Ooh, 80% cute from Furry Cures. Nice work. So, noises going off in my... Noises going off in my head. I had a question. I had like a loaded question at the ready for you. It was like really basic interviewy kind of thing. Oh yeah, how long have you been streaming for?
Me?
Yeah, yous.
I don't know.
Don't remember these
Too
things? Too long. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Can I steal your coin? No, I cannot. Brr. What? Cheating?
Yeah, cheating. Too easy, no points.
Alrighty. Let me put some difficulty in place. There we go. That should do it. Ah! You darn... Actually, no, that was my wrecking ball. I killed myself with a wrecking ball. Damn it. Oh, wait. How good is this paper plane? Because it looks like you can, like, fly with it. Alright, let's see what happens. There we go. See?
Too easy. You're gonna get no points.
What do you mean I'm gonna get no points?
For being too easy, you'll get no points. Well, maybe you will with cheating.
It's not cheating if only one of us succeeds. No! Puffin! My perfect... Alright, I'm gonna... Oh. Alright, now none of us get points. Let's see.
Wait, I grabbed the nuke. Why did they give me this thing?
Did you actually grab the nuke?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Gonna have to go for the long game. That did not work out as well as I hoped.
Rip.
Ripperoonies. doing?
Fucking no, whatever that is.
Oh my. You have to ruin all of my fun. Alright, here we go. Alright, I reckon trajectory-wise, that's the best spot. Oh! Your Ferris wheel was in the way. It would have been
Good, that's
so
the point.
good.
That's the point.
Ah. Hey. There we go. And then oh, Jesus.
I think we made it too hard now.
No. I think we can get through it. I think we can, like, it's still like a mess in the middle, but I think one of us can still get through it. It's gonna be doable, okay? Like, what is this thing? Oh, it doesn't do it. What are you doing with that nuke? Alright, well, we need this here then. And then put this here.
Cool.
Oh. Yeah. Don't hate the player, hate the... I'm actually gonna be still mad with you. Because you're gonna do something, I just know it. Oh, this is a temporary block. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna get rid of these dumb things, because they're not serving any point.
Doesn't matter. It's still there.
Alright, well... Gonna drop this... here. Why did you put 2 there?
I don't actually know what they do. Oh,
Oh,
it's just a
no.
one-way.
Ooh. Okay, I can do this. Oh, no! You didn't just do that.
I did just do that.
Ah.
I don't think you can even win.
Okay, I could try. I just need to somehow entrap you.
That doesn't do anything.
Not yet. Alright, here we go, here. What are you...
What are you gonna do, Zeebs?
What? I don't know, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, Zeebs?
I don't know, what are you gonna do?
Actually, exactly what I'm gonna do. Checkmate, atheist.
Ah! Wormholes! My only weakness! We need to find a third person again. Hang on. I'm gonna call in a... I'm gonna call a friend. I'm gonna use my lifeline. Wonder, is he free? Nah, he's in the middle of his own thing. He's doing he's playing games. I need a buddy. Power outage. Damn it! I don't have any friends. Did you change to the bunny? Damn. Alright. I can do this. Oh, it's a robot bunny. Puffin?
Huh?
It's a robot bunny. Alright, can I Yep, okay, cool. Gonna see what happens.
Oh.
Just put in a sneaky portal just in case. Oh. I really wanted the box. Alright, grab the door. Oh! I will admit, I'm not exactly a smart horse. What the? Did you get... Oh, you must have gotten hit by ice.
Rip.
Rip, rip. Womp, womp. Alright, I'm gonna give myself another safety. I'm gonna put this brick right here. Then this here. Oh, oh. Are you still... How are you still alive? It just looks like so many times you're getting hit by something. Oh. Oh, there we go.
This map's hard.
Just a bit, just a teeny bit, but we'll find a way. We just need to, you know, not kill each other for a bit. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put you there, and then put you there. Hey, we got the elephant. And I got hit by an arrow. That's kind of funny you can get into the igloo like that.
There's nothing in there.
Aw. Would have been great if there was. How are you finding the game? Besides, you know...
It's
the
interesting.
Not too much
Hard.
fun. A little bit. I will admit it is tricky once there's like 3 or 4 peeps. Alright, here we go. Oh, I completely forgot about the boat. It moves.
Uh-oh.
I forgot the boat moves. Dink. Yeah, that did nothing, I realized. I'm an idiot. Alright, I'm gonna put you there. That way, I have less likely of a chance of, you know, screwing up. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Oh.
I'm not even an hour in and already I'm like, oh, I forgot why I didn't play this often. I'm an idiot.
Rip.
Oh, ripperoonies.
Alright.
What's the fastest you've just said nope to a game?
Like 2 hours, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, this game 2 hours, or there was a game where you gave it only 2 hours and you were just before you said nah.
I gave it 2 hours. I
Okay.
can't remember what game.
You just remember the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Alright. Just need to give us, like, all the platforms. Then... Ooh, that was a... No! I forgot about the ice. That was the closest I've gotten so far.
Rip.
Rip. Oh my goodness. We can do this. I reckon we can do this. We're not too... We're not too dumb. Ooh, portal. I know exactly. So, because you put a... Wait, where's the portal you put down? Oh. Alright, and then... Risk it for the biscuit. Oh! Okay, now we just made it too easy. You're gonna win because you've won one time. Alright, here we go. Ultimatum time. And then... Puffin, why is it so hard?
Good.
Why do I struggle with you? I struggle so... Oh, okay, I'm gonna go at the bomb. You. That crossbow is actually being a pain point for me.
Wow.
Yes, wow, indeed. Oh, yes!
Wait, who got first? Too easy, no points. How is it too easy?
Because the point is that, like, you don't want everyone coming across. You only want, like, you know, you want to have, like, at least one person failing or something like that. And since it's two of us, it's a case of either one of us fails, or no one gets points. Think. There we go. Yes! I think... Oh, no, I just skirt ahead. Finally! Oh, my goodness. That is the hardest victory I've had to work for. Alright, what was the costume? Oh, there wasn't any costumes. There's just elephant. Alright. Ooh! Volcano! What's the hardest game you think you've had to work for?
I don't know.
Not like the first Dead Rising, or maybe... Let's see, I'm gonna put you... Oh, actually, I need to put you, like, here. Ow, who bonked me on the head? Oh, it's very curious. Dink, dink. And then...
Oh shit, I didn't realize.
I didn't realize... Oh, no, no, no. Oh, okay, cool. They don't go all the way down. Yes! Cool, alright. At least we know they do the thingy-majiggy. Alright, can I put... Nah.
Bonker.
It would have been cool to, like, being able to, like, do a thingy-majiggy to... Alright, I'm gonna put you, like, right here, so then that way if it goes too far down, then you're getting bonked. And then an avenue to... go up and down like this. Oop. Ah! You hate it? Just a bit. Alright, let me give you... So... Then a little... So I'll keep you there, and then... Oh! Darn it, I messed up. Let's see you do your thing, Puffin.
I think I actually made it impossible.
No, I don't. I reckon you didn't make it impossible. I just reckon you have to, like, make a jump to be, like... Oh, Furry Curious keeps bonking me because they want me to bonk them back. Hang on a second. I have the bonk at the ready. If the bonk would work. Like, here's what we'll do, is we'll do, like, something like this. So then that way you have to, like, do the wall jump. Thank you for the boobs, Furry Cures. Why can't I bonk you? Weird. Right. And then...
Bonk.
Damn it, I can't send a bonk unless I, like, Alt-Tab. Alright, here we go. Bonk. Bonk Furry Cures. Oh! No, I forgot the... I was distracted by chat. What's the plan, Puffin?
Not
These
to
are-
die.
That's a good plan. Wait, is there like a... No, there can't be a delay. Oh, I see how you did the thingy-majiggy on there. Hey, and you got a bonus for a comeback. Oh, you just looking to make it trickier? Oop.
Fucking unethical hitbox.
What do you mean unethical hitbox. I've been seeing you dodge blades like they were nothing.
Unethical hitbox.
Unethical, huh? All right, I'm gonna put a coin in here. I'm gonna put you. Let's see, I'm gonna put you like on the hay bale, grabbing the explosive so you don't get it, and then getting rid of the fire hydrant. Oh, I see what you've done. Oh. No, no, no. I can beat this. Yeah, look at me go. I just need one more win. All right, I'm gonna get some glue, and I'm gonna. All right, can I make it? All right, I'm gonna make it sticky here.
Oh, you fucking. Why
Did you?
do that?
Why did you do that? All right, hang on. I got an idea. Okay, I can't. Can I put on? All right, hang on. I'm gonna. Oh, it will only let me Oh, darn it. Okay. All right, let's see what happens when I do that. Not that. I wasn't meaning that. I wasn't meaning just, you know, running into the lava and dying. Have you... Okay, you have made it possible. Okay. Ripperoonies. Rip, rip, rip. Rip, rip, rip. Alright, here we go. I'm sorry if I don't have, like, any, like, cool conversation starters to, like, throw at you at the moment. Like, being all...
I'm like really tired anyway.
Oh, okay. Long day?
Yeah.
No. Fair. So. I'm usually very fortunate where Mondays aren't too intense for me because no one else wants to do Mondays.
Fair.
Right. Oh! Wait, hang on. There we go. So, the heaviest day for me's is the heaviest day for me is like the Tuesdays or the Thursdays, frankly, at work. But free bar me on Thursdays though. That's a personal work benefit that I like.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any like cool work lunches or breakfasts?
I don't work.
Oh. So what did you get up to today then?
Just sleep.
Oh, okay. Because I always see memes where it's like, the 9 to 5 person just sort of like, you know, typing away at their computer, being like, hello, I am a business person doing business things. Have you tried turning it off and on again? And then, meanwhile, the person that doesn't do the work is like somehow in like Bangkok or something like that, just going on a backpacking trip. Oh my goodness, there are credits? Hang on. Oop. Dink, donk. Oh my god, that's so cool. How high do they go? Oh, they fade away. Oh.
No, come back.
Eh. Poof. Invaluable legal advice. Will alter for being a website guru and helping at the airport. Help with shows. Gameplay space. Kickstarter backers. Oh, I didn't know this was a Kickstarter game. I just thought it was, you know... I just thought it was like one of those games from like the Play-Doh project where it was like, you know, a studio does like, you know, all kinds of work, and this came from like the 20% side or something, where it was like someone's crazy idea and they were like, oh, sure, let's do that. reckon I'm lucky with this elephant. I'm lucky. I think I just needed like a big boy. Yeah. Also, no. Furry Curious is being extra horny by typing in Bangkok as 2 words.
Wow.
Wow. Being an absolute degenerate. All right, I reckon we can get up to there. And then, and then I'm gonna put this here, so then it's like yes, and then there's some attempt in trying to get to the other side.
I better get the fucking zebra, I swear to God.
Ah. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, so we can. So if you're fast enough, you can clear that jump. Dun, 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 dun. So, and then
Wait, did we do that?
I don't know if we did.
We did.
Don't think so. All right, and then
We definitely did.
spikes. Lol, Masonic failed and only got 1% Himbo. First.
I don't know if you were first.
I think I was first. Elephants are faster than chameleons, right? Ooh, if you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna do this. Come on. You know you want to. Alright, there we go. And then long spikes. Oh, wait, you took the long spikes to do this. Damn it. All right, I know what I need to do to recover that. Dink. Can I put this? No, I can't. Okay, there. It's not ooh, what is this one? Ah. I wanted to know what that one did. Oh, it's a jetpack. That's cool.
What the fuck?
Your jetpack just like it pulled me away and I couldn't see below me.
Oh my God, that's fucked.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna aerial assault right there. And then another one.
It's fine.
Okay, so I just need to. I now just need to get the jetpack now. That's what I'm seeing happening. I just need to get the jetpack now. Here we go. Have fun. Ooh, ah!
No points, bitch.
No. Yeah, but no. Alright, so I need to raise you just a little bit because some people can't hear yous. Where's the thingy? There's the thingy. Arrows. Oh, we both got arrows.
Yeah, I told you, you can dupe it.
Trying to find the... Dink. Yes! Oh, you... Ah, I was really hoping you'd somehow, like, get shot by your own arrow. The worst part is you're winning right now. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of these. Gotta... Stop making
Wow.
it... What do you mean, wow?
Fucking give me my jetpack back, you fucking
No!
thief.
Thief? It's not theft if it's... Oh. It's not theft if it's destruction. Yeah. I just need to somehow, like, get, like, you know, 2 more thingy-madiggies, and then I'll win. I can... What are you doing? Oh. How mature. And then...
Wait, what happens if you have 2 things attached to it?
I think one of them breaks, so they don't work. So, like, it'll do a rotation, but it won't do it for, like, the first one that can rotate. Because it doesn't do, like, a really long rotation is the thing. Like, it only does it, I think, for, like, the direct object. It doesn't do it for, like, you know, linking. Yeah!
What the hell? Oh, interesting.
Yes. Neck and neck. Alright, that one we didn't do. We just, you know... What you gonna do, Puffin?
Wait, why does this not have any fucking sticky shit now?
Oh, yeah, that's a bit odd. Yeah!
Cheating.
It's not cheating. I just, you know, I'm now going for like a speed running kind of way where I'm like, I'm just gonna jump twice or something like that and just, you know, make it good. So.
Cheating.
It's cheating. You're just gonna say that every like 2 feet. Alright, dink.
Cheating still.
Just gotta crack open a cold one and get some energies in ya. Yeah. Gonna use my secret ingredient. Vanilla Coke. That did not work at all. Fine, I'll get the short one. And put... Oh, I see. You're gonna, like, perfectly calculate me, aren't you? You're like, yes, this is the perfect, I'm still winning.
I know.
You got me this time, but I'm alright, here we go. I'm gonna...
No.
Oh, okay. Damn. I thought we had like another round to go. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
So what did you think? Do you think we'll, like, if we had more people, like a, you know, a flat 4 peeps, we'd play more of this?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna try Old Mansion.
Ugh, I'll probably only play one more. I'm tired.
No, that's fair enough, fair enough. Like, so, because I don't want to, you know, keep you from sleep and such like that. That's kind of important. Plus, like, you know, I can fall back into, you know, the chat room or something like that for a quick minute in it and, you know, follow up with peeps, see how they're doing, and then afterward. All right, so we go dun dun. And then, yeah, I'm just going to put you there. And then, did it freeze on me?
I
No.
tab.
Ah, okay. So yeah, I'm still very thankful that, you know, you were able to play with me for a few games. Like, we haven't, like, I've dropped into your streams a few times, and I'm glad that you're, like, not as strongly, like, you know, profanity as you could be.
I'm tired. I also don't do it competitively. I only mold at games.
Fair.
Oh my god.
So yeah. I don't know. It's always fun, like, watching your things, because you're either, like, you know, god gamer doing all kinds of, like, crazy sort of moves and such like that, like you were in Dead Rising 2 most recently, or it's the forest and it's just not fun. So yeah, I think you're pretty cool.
Well, no you.
Wow. Wait, what does the button do? Oh. Ooh, what do you get? Hey, you unlock squirrel.
I already had a squirrel. I guess you had the squirrel.
Oh, okay. All right. Gonna put you there.
The fuck is this do?
Not too sure. Worth a watch.
See, we duplicated this again.
I was not paying attention. I'm sorry.
It just got duplicated. We both like grabbed the same one at the same time. Rude.
Amazingly enough, that is perfect punching height. So yeah. So how have you been going in, like, the Dead Rising 2?
One sec, sorry.
Not to worry, not to worry. Uh-oh, not good. Wait, what did it just do? Oh, no, Puffin's still there. That's good.
I was close.
No, it did a timer thingy-majiggy where if you didn't pick up block, it just moved on. So you don't have a block until we get to the next thingy-majiggy. I'll wait till you're, you know, feeling comfortable and ready.
Oh, we're good, we're good.
We're good? Okay. Put you there. I don't know. Grab you. And then put you here.
Oh, I see that thing does.
Oh! That is a wide... That's a wide angle for punches. I didn't think it had that much reach. Oh, you good. Good comeback. Alright, Alright, let's see how that looks.
Hmm.
What are you thinking? Puffin's thinking.
Oh, I didn't even fucking pay attention.
What was that?
The fucking sword.
Oh. Okay, alright, I'm gonna take my time a little bit then. Alright. So if I call the elevator... Okay, so it goes right through there. And then... There. Gonna put it in a risky spot. Please don't block the elevator, Puffin. I know you're cute, but I'm not afraid to, like, throw hands at you.
Oh.
Oh, nope! I'm ready to throw hands at you now. Let's go, you and me. Alright, I'm gonna put the... What's here? Done. You're all good? Just tired?
Yeah, I'm just focusing.
Ah, okay. Yep. Oh no, this was a bad... Okay, actually, you know what? It wasn't a bad idea. I'll just put the rocket someplace not easily, you know, pursuant.
How did you get the coins? What the hell? I picked
Really
them all up and you
fast.
just grabbed them all. What do you mean? I got there before you.
Okay, well now you got the coins. Oof. That was a close one. Welcome back, Jason. Dun dun. Oh, we're neck and neck now.
Your fucking 3 gold coins.
Yeah, my 3 gold coins ruined it. Yeah, you can rejoin Jason after this. Once this match is over, however, Puffin is just a little bit tired, so it will just be, you know, you and me, if that's okay. Or do you think that's not enough people? Alright. What am I gonna do? I am going to...
Those black holes.
Not unless I'm really clever. Observe. I'm gonna get past these black holes. Oh, I see. Too easy, no points. I found a way. Alright, put you there. Why are you so committed at, like, ruining my pathing?
I think that's the point of the game, is it not?
I guess. Oh, Jesus. How did you dodge that?
I'm guessing there's some, like, latency. Oh, fuck. Well.
That hurt. No winners, no points.
We duped it again.
Oh, what? Okay. Bonk, bonk.
I tried to grab it so you couldn't.
Damn it. Alright, this. Let's see how we go. Oh, that was... Damn.
Oh, that's just like fucking one away.
Yep. Alright, brick thingy-majiggy, put you there. Have you been... You've done, like... Have you normally been, like, the participant, or have you been, like, the host of party games in the past?
I don't know. I don't normally play party games.
Oh.
Oh, dude, that's fucked.
Yep.
Why
I thought
did
I
you
was
do
being
that?
really... Because I thought it would be funny.
Why did you do this?
Oh! Ah!
Why did you do this?
Why
did you do this?
I thought it would be good.
Why did you do this?
I thought with it rotating, it would add a little, like a little better of a thingy. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that. All right, you can put in your like saw like thingy. No, not there, because then that's wasting the blow up I just did. Oh, you. All right, here we go. Oh, the glass breaks it as well.
Wait, what do you mean?
I didn't think that. I thought that glass was just artistic. It wasn't, you know, damaging.
Oh.
You win. Good game.
That was close.
And you get to have a little snooze with a win in your chest. Don't you feel great?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Lobby. Invite. Where is Jason?
Thanks for that. I'll play some other time though.
Yeah, no. I'll try and like organize like a better time to, you know, do a party game. Like maybe try and make it, you know, maybe a end of the month like an end of the month Saturday or beginning of the month Saturday kind of thing. That way,
Yeah.
you know, if try and have like not that often of a regularity, like once a week kind of thing, but you know,
Yeah.
snap it into calendar. So then that way it's either like, you know, playing, you know, it could either be something like playing an MMO like Final Fantasy 14 or Overwatch or something or rather with try and have as many people as possible, or going into one of these party games.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Feel free to like
Yeah.
give me suggestions and such, because like you're like a really cool streamer. You got like thousands of followers. Wait, 1,000 or thousands?
1,500-ish, 1,700.
All right, thousands. You got. Hi, Jason.
Anyway, I'll fucking speak to you later. Have fun.
Yeah, not to worry. You have a good rest. Thank you again for coming along and chat. If you want to know the next time Puffin goes for another stream and playing Dead Rising 2 or something or rather, give him a follow. Give him a sub. They're really cool.
Follow Zeebs right now, Mitch.
No. Don't
Anyway,
follow.
I'll speak to you
Puffin.
later.
All right.
Thanks for the game.
Not to worry, Puffin. Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
Welcome back. How's it going?
Good. Hang on.
Doing A-okay. So, all right. Yep, you're in? Yeah, you're in.
Let me just get out of your stream for a sec.
Ah, so then that way you're not, like, hearing double. Fair enough. Oop. You left the lobby.
Can you invite me again?
Yep, I can invite you again. What happened there?
Nothing. Starting.
PC just sort of having a difficult time with the game and all that. I'm gonna swap over to the horse this time. There you go. You're there.
I can hardly hear you. Didn't stand.
Keyboard configurations. All right, so chat is T, scorecard is tab, Q and E do camera focus. All right, let's do farm. Thank you again, Puffin. Have a good night. So yeah, how was dinner? Alright, I'm gonna use this to cover up the combine thingy-majiggy, so then that way we don't worry about that too much. And put this here. So yeah, in the previous game, you look like you're having a little bit of trouble with something like the wall running. There you go. Too easy, no points.
Oh well.
Hi again. Alright, hang on. Door. There we go. If you use like the scroll wheel or Q and E, you can like rotate the piece if you want. That's like a sticky glue thing, so you put on like a surface to make it sticky. So you can do the same sort of thing with like spikes. And the one you got is ice. So then that makes it slippery. Try putting it on like maybe the girder or something like that. See? Did it. It's a bit tricky. You have to like time your jump so it goes through the door, and then you have to like make the jump just before it closes, so then that way when you get through the frame, you have to... It's closing on you or something like that when you do the jump. Because you got like a lot of good control when you're in the air as well, so you can go like, you know, strong left or strong right. That one's a bit tricky. But if you grab... There we go. So we put that there. Then fan here. Oh. did not go at the right time. Nice work there. Alright. Let's make this just a little bit. Tink. Hi there, SWAT Warfare. Welcome to the stream. There we go. There we go. Are the hitboxes, like, weird for you, Jason, at all? I don't know if I can hear them. Are you able to hear me all right? There we go. Put a lot of traps down. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, died. There might be a bit too many arrows. Automod got you? Oh, I see what you wrote. I will allow that, because that one is actually a little bit funny. I think that one's funny. There's a lot going on. Let's see how I do with this. And then fire hydrant. I'm just gonna put you there. It's a bit of a cramped map right now. Oh, I see. So that's how you can get, like, trapped. Hopefully there's going to be, like, a bomb or something in this pack next. Oh, yep, there is. Awesome. Grab that. And I'm going to put you on this. Make it just a little less cluttered. And I still died in that corner. Oop, let's see how they do. Let's see what they're made of. Oh, nice work. And you did it. You okay? Oh. Oh. Okay, did I make it? Post-mortem. Technically, I did. But I don't get a coin for my efforts. Alright, then grab this. Put you there. There we go. Skill issue, Zeebs? I don't have a skill issue. I just, you know... I've probably played this a little bit too long. The aim of the game, SWAT, is... We're farm animals or something or other, and we're trying to get from the starting point to the goal without dying is the important bit. And in each turn, we get to, like, you know, put items down. That's the idea with them. Wait, why is my source... I can't hear anything Jason is saying. Is it something weird? Hang on. Properties of comms. Discord, Steam, Telegram. It's going through the correct thingamadiggies. Hang on. Did I break something? It's on the default headphones. Sounds. Give me a minute, Jason. I'm sorry. Where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? There they are. Okay, no, that works. That's good. Odd. Ooh, rooftops? Alright, rooftops. Let's go rooftop next. Dun! It's a competitive gamble to escape. Yeah, it's kind of like a competitive gamble. Yeah, I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna put you there. Easy. If you hold the shift... Oh.
Sir Dragonx88 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alright. Whoa! And tiny hands. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Because I don't know if I could... If you were ever saying anything, because I couldn't hear you. Anyway, I need to do my 20 squats real quick for Sir Dragon. There's a timer on your placement, by the by. Here we go. Ugh. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Sir Dragon. All right, here we go. There. Ding. Gonna put the coin there instead. Nah, I can't put it in there, Jason. I'm gonna leave the Discord and come back into it, okay? One moment. So leave the Discord. Jump back in. Anything at all? Jason, did you place anything? The game sound is overtaking your sound. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit loud. The game is like a little bit loud. Oh, and I just realized I'm like no battery. Ding. Run across real quick.
Invite me again, please, Grant.
Yeah, no, I can invite you again. It said you disconnected. Let me see if I can...
I'm trying to work out how to get the game sound lower so I can hear you.
With the escape key, you click on options, audio and video, and there's two options for the, the music and the effects, and you should be able to like get them down to like off if you need to.
Okay, thank you for that.
Not to worry.
Can you please invite me?
Yeah, give me a sec. Hang on. Why is it save and share
Sorry.
level, root players? How come I can't All right, hang on. Quit. Return to treehouse. Want me to join? Yeah. If do you have the game, Rudy? I don't know if I have you as a friend. Hang on. Lobby. Invite friend. I don't think I have Rudy. All right. Hang on a second. Ding.
I'll play for another 45 minutes and I'll have to go.
Okay. Yep. 45 more minutes. Just wait like a quick minute. I just need to find where. Where is Rudy Chan?
Yeah, I had trouble trying to do that.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. There they are.
Play the rooftops again.
Yep. Yep. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Ding. Invite to play Ultimate Chicken Horse. Send invite. And then if they slip into one of the Discord channels.
Yep.
Wait, are you in already? Yep. Okay. So yeah, you're just a mouse cursor right now. Just waiting on. Oh, you left. What was that about? Lobby invite. Send invite. All right. Let's see if that jump present came to lurk. Now concerned. Can we do code? Yeah, we can do code. All right, give me 1 second. I am going to do the crafty move of moving into the chat room real quickly. So then that way I can get the code privately. And then PCRS. All right. And then I just need to find Rudy again. And then I sent it to you via Discord. 7 point a gig. Is it really nearly 2 gigs? I don't remember it being that.
I think it is.
Sorry?
I think it's about 1.5 gig or something, I think.
Oh, okay.
It didn't take me long to download it.
No, that's good. It's the HD PNGs. Rudy is saying it's because of PNGs.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright, ready to go?
Yep, ready to go. Ready to go. I am single and yeah, it's not exactly. Ice isn't probably like the easiest one to go for when there's like barely anything there to use.
Yeah.
But I like that if it has only 2 characters, then it will at least like do a bonus round of items.
Yeah. I missed it altogether.
Yeah, it's a platform that's going like left and right.
I know, I realised.
Yep.
Try again.
Alrighty. I'm gonna get this platform here. That's like an extra thingamadoog. That's can't join a game in progress. Ah, okay. So wait, is the game downloaded now for you, Rudy? You know what I can do?
Yeah.
Shouldn't take too long. Let's see. Is Rudy in any one of the voice channels? Not yet.
Go again.
Dink. There. Oh, it took 20 seconds. Okay. All right, then yeah. Quit. Return to treehouse.
Okay.
3rd time's a charm. Let's see how we go with a 3rd time's the charm. Alrighty. But let's see. Let's see. Ah, I see Rudy. Move Rudy into the chat. Hello, Rudy.
Hello.
Oh, wait.
Hello, Rudy.
Hi, Jason.
How's it going? Did the invite code work for you?
I mean, obviously, if it said you were already in a game, then it probably works, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it worked. All right, cool. Dink. I highly recommend changing your audio settings because they can be a little bit loud.
Oh, me.
No. On the in case you wanted to like communicate via voice and you might have difficulty hearing other peeps is all.
Otherwise, the sound takes over everything. And you can't hear what everyone else is saying.
For some reason, I can't get my controller working. I can't play this game with mouse and keyboard. It just doesn't work.
What happens if you disconnect the controller and reconnect it? Should allow you to.
Yeah.
And then maybe you just need to select a character first, and then you can. Oh,
I think you're angry.
let's see.
I have an Xbox controller wired to my PC right now.
Let's see. Well, thumbstick is to move. Right is to pause. Keyboard configurations. All right, I'm gonna make it like. I'm gonna make it 90 seconds instead. Name visibility on. Chat and emotes. Still having issues with the controller?
Yeah, I don't want to delay you too much, so I'll just switch to keyboard if it's not working. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch to keyboard. I can figure it out.
Alrighty then, fair enough. I personally like you know, keyboard and mouse for this kind of movement.
I first got this game on Switch, and then I mastered the shit out of it, so...
Ah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough.
We're going to Waterfall to unlock that item.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, grab the sticky one with the both sides thingy-madiggy, and make it Yong Slong. Oh, stickies. I forgot.
Alright, there we go.
Great first round. We don't get bonus we don't get bonus boxes now that there's a third member in the group. Alrighty. And then I'm gonna put you there. What are you doing, Rudy? Dink. Oh.
One up to you, never.
Pyramid map unlocked for Rudy. You're gonna have a really hard time, I'm gonna be real. You can't swim up the river.
I'm gonna go back to rooftop next time.
No, it's just tricky when it's, you know, early games like these. Also, what's with my... I can hear a rattling in my right earphone.
Just, oh, okay, I was trying to find the kill yourself button, but it was...
Holding the B.
B to give up.
Yep. B is the...
Actually, D works just fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Alright,
As in
gonna put this there. And then... Let's see how Jason does this.
Oh my god.
You gotta first figure out how to get to the place across before you sabotage. Alright. Now let's start sabotaging.
I don't know if we can do that.
Oh, ye of little faith. Watch this nonsense.
Let's not do it on this TV.
Okay, I mean, if you
Oh,
were
what
gonna
great
try
district.
it, I wouldn't try it when the platform's halfway across.
Okay, fine. Ow. I had FOMO when Jason ran across, and I was like, oh, I don't want to miss out. There we go. Yay, I got a point for a trap.
You are
Alright.
still in the lead.
Yes. And then grab and put that there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think there's a limit to that.
You think so?
I thought there was.
Up.
There's some pretty big stages in this game. I'd imagine the limit would be pretty high.
Ah. because it does that thing where it like goes up and then stops. So I thought, you know, it was expending it all. All right. Gonna do this. You had to put the fire extinguisher.
Good catch.
Yeah. Oh, the blades also hit.
Oh yes! Oh dear!
Oh, I forgot about that.
I did not calculate for this.
I can fix this. I just need... Alright, did I get the portal? Yeah, I got the portal. Alright, here we go. We're gonna be rude. Don't know what rude is doing. Oh, you're gonna give yourself a safety? Oh, it's not full!
Ah!
Yeah!
My own trap.
It feels bad when it's your own trap. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna fix a few things.
We both just select the same thing.
Yeah,
both just select
Puffin
the same
thinks
item.
that there might be like a dupe glitch you can do because of the what's a Mahoozy net code.
You have the same problem in Stardew Valley if you mine the rocks at the same time.
Yep. All right, here we go. What are you doing? What's the plan? What's the play?
Not that.
The worst part is like you're winning. So even if we like all like F up, it's like it's still your lead. All right. I'm gonna put you here. Why did that push me? I made it
Water
easier.
pushing down on
Only
your head.
I didn't think it would have been enough.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna crush and kill.
Alright.
Oh, that's my favorite. This is gonna be awesome.
Alright,
Oh,
here we
this
go.
is gonna be amazing.
Gonna put that there. Oop. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. No, did you push me?
I don't think so. Oh, I really thought I could make it.
I got 2 rounds to try and jump ahead. I need to figure this out. I need a strat. Here we go. No, get rid of the...
What do you mean tell me what to do when I'm trying to win?
Oh.
Yep, that was mine.
I forgot you put that there. Alright. Let's see. Let's see you get through this. It's a very busy edge. Although technically you could give up now and you'd still win.
No, wait. Okay.
You still win,
I could've
however. You still
Yeah.
win. So, there you go.
I could have won that. I didn't know I could go back through the portal.
Oh, last turn. I thought that was the last turn.
No.
All right, I am going to... There's got to be some way for me to get rid
If you rotate that, you can put it on the fire extinguisher.
I can't. It wouldn't let me rotate in that
Oh,
fashion.
no. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh!
Oh, good god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god.
This might be it. This might be it for me. All right,
Jason, you gotta win. Jason, you gotta win. So
Jason's the underdog as well. Jason would get a big bonus if he got this one.
Crap. Right up the. Oh, I can't.
Oh man.
Oh, I think you're
Tiebreaker?
sudden death. Yeah, reach the.
Yes.
Oh. Oh no! Oh. You were able to like just go. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
That was
whoop.
luck. That was luck. I saw the way you went last time, and that's how I got there.
I was trying to go the same route as last time as well. All right. Yeah, let's go rooftops this time. Let's just go an easy one. Ooh, party voting. Okay. Yeah, you weren't gonna win that one.
Oh yeah, I guess sure. It's not randomly based on all three.
Yeah.
This one's a bit more easy.
Think. All right. Okay, we need to at least try to get to the other side at least once, and that does not help me.
Oh, I thought it was impossible. Damn it. Oh.
I don't know how I
didn't
did that.
How did you do that?
I mean, obviously you did it because the sprint jump was enough. Man, I thought it wasn't possible, so I was just gonna sit there.
All right. What are you doing?
I didn't want to do it like that, but I'm trying to press R to rotate.
Oh, I give myself too big of a. You can do it, Jason.
You can do it.
Strength.
Don't stand on those.
You gotta hold shift and like.
I wanted
sprint.
the blue crate to be moving the barrel.
You didn't have it orientated the right way, unfortunately.
Right, but I keep pressing R to rotate. Oh, you guys are not gonna like me. You guys are not gonna like me.
No, I think that's fair. And I mistimed. Just sprint, Jason. You can do this. Hold shift,
You get
direction,
lucky.
and
You did what you said.
I admit that.
I do what you said that it was right there. Yeah.
Yeah, beep, beep, beep. Yeah. All right, let me just get a baby step for just to help. What is all that?
Ah!
Oh!
Jason, you got a chance.
Nah. That's a shame.
That was why I'm.
They were shooting at the same time as well, so it gets tricky. Just gonna get rid of all that. Just gonna go boom on all that, sorry.
Alright, Jason. You can wall jump. As long as you make it to the building, you can make it.
What?
Ouch.
Oh,
It was delayed. It's latency.
net lag. Yeah, sorry about that.
It looks
said-
like you didn't get hit on our end.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I do apologize. I'm really good at this game.
I do. All right, here we go. Let's see how
At least
this
you got a
works.
challenge.
Oop, oop, you, oop, no, no, no. Oh!
Oh shit! No! No, I could have made it.
Come on, Jason!
Remember, use shift.
Oh,
You
no,
got-
oh.
Oh. It's a timing. You gotta know the timing to get back up the wall.
Yeah, because if you do it too soon and it's like you don't have any momentum. All right, here we go. Oh, I should have put it. What are you doing?
What are you?
Jason needs that.
I need that. I needed that. What's gonna happen now?
Have you you ever gotten post-mortem?
Jason? I don't think he has.
No,
Oh!
I mean you.
Yes, one time. Nice comeback.
He's not out of the game.
Alright, here we go.
Another arrow? Thanks for taking the bullet from me, bud.
Yeah, sure. Let's see you. I swear you just ran through an arrow on my screen.
Hey, you know, 300 millisecond average difference
Yeah.
between our countries.
Wait, where are you? I thought you were Aussie.
No. Do I sound Australian to you?
No, I'm autistic as fuck. I don't know accents that well.
Well, I'm Californian.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's like what, 6 a.m.? Wait, no, hang on.
That would be better.
East.
It's 3.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my
6
goodness.
a.m.
You
East
should be
time.
asleep.
I work at 11.
There's way too many people in my chat that are insomniacs.
I haven't seen you in a while. I've been sleeping well.
Grant,
Funny-
you wanna do top bit? Okay.
Yeah, I want to do rooftop because there's like a package here. And then for SWAT, it's 4 a.m. for them right now. Yay!
Alright, again. Alright, I'm not gonna take it easy this time.
Oh, wait, that was taking it easy last time?
I don't want
Go
to.
for
I'm not gonna be a dick, but yeah, I was taking it easy.
Oh my god, taking it easy. Yeah, I can do that.
See, I just got professional in there.
You gotta jump at the end, and also there's this very specific timing to climbing the wall. So
Yeah,
We
that's
might-
one thing that one-
Might need to give him just, you know, a little platform to give him practice just here. Sure, why don't just... No, 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 no. Oh, okay. So you want to be like...
Oh! Okay. That's not how I thought that was gonna go. So, Jason, you're gonna run at the wall. Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna die instead. How's that?
No, you're gonna fall before the fan.
Next.
This is why I'm giving him the, like, thingamadoogs. Oop.
Your body.
Just floating up. Yeah, I left it so you can still get hit and such, so. Ooh. Got points for 2 traps then. Alright, I'm gonna see what. Gonna see what happens when you.
Oh God! It shoots the arrows. Oh, you got it. Ah. Oh, it's glued. Oh, that's not how I thought that was going. This is quite something. No!
Oh no! Wait, why? Why was my jump being so difficult? There we go.
It was off timing. You were off beat.
Phew.
I was not expecting you to win that. Oh, did you blow up my freaking trampoline?
Ah. Got hit by the arrow
That counts
again.
my trap?
I think it might have, because that was your cannon that did that
My
as well.
cannon and my arrow.
Yeah,
Yep,
that got you the
that's
winner.
it.
Nice work. That was a lot more of a that was a lot more like technical finesse and such. That was a good win. That worked out really well for you. That was really good. Oh, we never got the package.
All right. I'll do what I do at my house rules. First thing we do is get the package and all win together.
Cool.
That's what I do because I always want to unlock more stuff.
I know there's like a zebra alternative costume for the horse, and I want that. All right, cool. So it's up there.
All right.
So we just.
The slider. Okay. Let's build up there first.
So that should be enough, and then.
And then you yeah.
All the mansion for Jason.
All right. I'm only gonna win if Jason wins.
If I die,
No,
You need height. You need height. You need to get onto like the.
Okay. Now, Jason, you're gonna jump off the top of the stairs and sprint right. You gotta get up to the top of the stairs. So, you gotta get the timing right here. You gotta have this timing in mind
Hop,
while running
hop.
straight at the wall, or you're not gonna make it back up. All right? All right. Come on all the way back up. You don't want the noises to conflict. You got this, bud. Use shift to sprint. And get a jump.
Jump. Oh.
Oh, you gotta run at the wall, man.
You got
Keep sprinting and running at the wall.
You got to the wall at least, which is I thought was going to
Yeah.
be very difficult to do. So let's do a little bit. Let's give like a little bit of a run up. Oh, I see. So either everyone
bets are
wins or
off.
no one. Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, that's the first round. We're going for the box. That's it.
Oh,
Or
okay.
else we might not get it.
Oh.
Oh my god, how the hell am I gonna do this? Yeah, no.
Not when you
Why
have both
did I do
arrows and a corner to worry about. So now we gotta just, you know, classically get across. No, Jason, don't do that.
Here, I'll do this instead.
Okay, cool. Fine.
Ah. Alright.
Yep.
Good. Now you're gonna try and get over that. But
You want to do a
you're gonna
sprint
wanna
jump.
when it's at the lowest point. You want to jump when it's at its lowest point.
You can get to the. You can be jumping to the top of it by doing a sprint jump. You don't need to do a run up for the sprint jump to apply either. You just need to hold sprint and push in the direction you want to, you know, have it sprinting when you do the jump.
FK.
Shift key, so then that way you're in sprint mode, and then you know you do your jump with the space bar and you do your left right for like, you know, air control. There you go. Oh,
Keep going, keep going.
And
So I'm noticing that you're angling to the left when you jump off the wall. You still have to keep sprinting at the wall to jump off of it.
yeah. Ooh, okay, okay.
Gotcha!
I was just an autopilot. All right.
Got it? Now, you can make it past that thing when it goes up.
Just give yourself.
You're gonna want to take the biggest leap of faith you can possibly take when it makes it up.
You got this.
All right.
nice.
when you do the jumping off the wall thing, you don't need to face left to jump off it. You can keep facing the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not doing like a left and right thingy-majiggy. Because here's the thing is that, all right, hang on. Let me just put this. Oh, it's gone.
What?
I had like a thingy-majiggy. I was going to do like a really high wall as like a safer means of, you know, demonstrating. All right. Let's see what happens if I put this here.
I've installed the airport for Jason. Oh! That is not the best. I did not think I was gonna die there. Jason, you're gonna have to make it up there for me. Because if he gets the solo points, I'm gonna do so. I'm gonna lose so bad. You gotta jump off of it and then jump on top. So press
yeah,
jump
so when
again while you're sliding down the side. Oh, you got it.
And just jump onto the paper plane.
Oh. Jason, you can go back and you can get on the plane.
Rudy is just like, listen, Jason, I know we're trying to train you to do the wall jumping, but I need you to take the airport option right now.
Oh no! No. Solo. Oh, you got trap points. Alright.
All right.
No more airport. No more airport.
No more airport. As I... What the? I do not remember it being that low.
Where's...
What? Who put that? Who put the...
That has been there since the start.
No. The saw blade platform threw off my jump.
Oh. Oh, that glue was me. That glue join was me. Sorry.
No more airport. But you can use the plane to jump over it. No!
that fan there?
I put the fan there. I'm sorry. Oh God. Okay. No more Mr. Nice Raccoon.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Mr. Nice Raccoon.
Ooh. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see who I can get.
Oh.
Yeah, that slows down time.
Okay.
No, Mr. Nice Raccoon, you said.
Yep. You're not gonna win either.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Jason winning can't save me now. Oh. Jason, you got this. Jason, you got it. Oh. I love this game so much. Oh, you won by a lot.
Yeah, cause like, I didn't want to keep fucking around. I was doing like the tiniest edits rather than just making it like a clusterfuck.
I don't want to just absolutely make it hopeless for Jason, alright?
Yeah, no, I wasn't making it absolutely hopeless for Jason either. I didn't put the fans there.
And what am I doing?
A lot of maps you haven't
Oh, we're going for a map.
Ooh,
Oh,
I've
actually,
never seen
Hang on.
two of these maps.
do you want to try the wall jumping thingy-majiggy? So, you see... Hang on a second. So you see these things? Dink, donk. And you can do it here.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
So I'm pushing... I'm pushing on the wall the entire time when I'm doing the jump. I'm never, like, pressing to the right. See? And if you, like, do it rapidly, then it's like you'll do, like, short jumps. And then if you do
it's
it...
not about spamming.
Because you can do, like, bigger thingy-majiggies. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for the pier. Let's see what random one we get. Yeah. Alright, we're going pyramids! But yeah, SWAT...
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Yes, I am SWAT. Yes, I'm autistic. I think it's one of my tags in the chat. Alrighty.
I'm right
I'm gonna-
up there with you. Don't worry.
Alright, I'm gonna put that there so then that way we don't worry about the sinkhole.
Alright,
See? And then,
I'm waiting.
boop.
I'm waiting.
Thank you for the boops. Jason's got this. There isn't any wall running for Jason to worry about, so...
Everybody wins, no points.
Yep.
Alright. Now you're all screwed.
Grabbing glue. And I'm gonna put it on the Sphinx for later. You can go through the pyramid to avoid the fan if you want, Jason. Cause see how, like, below? Don't worry, the sand's not gonna kill you. I plugged the quicksand hole. That's the antechamber.
Up.
Yeah,
Okay, I
not all
didn't
the way.
baby-proof the quicksand hole.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow.
Alright, there we go. Here we go.
Should have gone for
Dink.
the cannon.
Dunk.
Alright, now it is baby proof.
Cool.
Well,
We say baby-proof, and then there's my
okay,
saw.
So you're gonna have to wall jump up the blade. Oh! Oh! Woo!
You did it! You
got
did a
it!
wall run! Aw. Give me a second.
Why do I keep missing the good stuff?
Alright, let's see how this goes.
What? Why does it matter which orientation it's in?
For
It's
starters,
spinning.
it's spinning, but it's at a set motion, so changing the orientation from where it's starting might be the difference for, like, you know, a nice flow and a slow flow. I think we made it. I think it's still too easy. So, because the saw blade is not that threatening.
I like the way it's holding the saw blade. And into the quicksand.
All right, well that's technically my trap, so there we go.
Ah, but I got the first points. No increase of lead.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. I'm gonna put you.
Feels like a standoff.
It is a standoff. There is no, like, feels like it is a standoff. I'm willing to wait.
Yes!
Oh, you. Oh.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you can win, Jason. You
Jason.
can get some serious points here.
Okay, don't say too much, or else we'll jinx. Just can do this. Jump, jump, jump. Oh, too late. Jump.
Oh.
Darn.
I can't believe I died in my own trap. The amount of times that happens is just the worst.
It is a bit much.
Okay, now we can't win.
Sure we can. Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I see what you're
Okay.
going for.
I was gonna see if I could somehow outrun the wormhole, but clearly.
You can't land in the same tile.
Just give up. See, even the game is telling you. Hold B. Hey, we got a spaghetti award on my Steam achievements, though. There's the bomb. What the? Whee. Oh, I thought I... Is this another victory for Jason?
Way.
Oh, this looks like another victory for Jason. They just need to avoid the spikes. There we go. It will...
Points for Jason.
Nice work. And a
Oh,
comeback.
geez, I'm in last. Oh, it was close. Oh boy. Wait, no, you're not all supposed to make it. Wait a minute. You're not all supposed to. Why did you all make it? I win.
Practice.
Yeah,
Practice. Hmm.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't see there. No! No way you knew to use that thing.
What do you mean? It was there. Oh.
Whatever.
Hey, at least, like... Let's see how Jason does.
Yeah, in order for you to use the planes to jump it, you're going to need a sprint jump, land on the plane, and then continue jumping. You can't just land on the plane. So you have to sprint jump and use the plane as a stand-in-place platform.
Temporarily,
It's
you can't...
quite a...
You can, like,
Yeah, you have to
stand on
stand
it for, like, a
in the
second or
middle behind
two,
the
but just be aware, you know. Uh-oh,
So you
watch out for
can
the
still
blade.
make it the same way, but yeah, I like how it's stirring
That was my bad.
the quicksand.
Alright.
Oh, this is a tough match.
Just a bit, just a bit, just a bit.
No single-use platform for you.
I'm sorry, what was... Oh! Oh.
No!
Woohoo!
Oh! Oh! Oh,
Yeah! Ooh! Hang on. Haven't used this dance in a while. Get fucking dabbed on, boy. Alright. That was good. Alrighty. How you doing for time, Jason? Is there another question mark anywhere? Yes, there is at the pier.
I have not played most of these.
It's okay. Oh, Jason's falling in the hole again.
There.
Alright, have fun down in the well. Old Jimmy's fell down in the well.
Well.
Alright, yep. you had to go there.
All right, let's see how we go.
Never played this map.
Okay, that
I'd be
box is going to
mean
be
if I was on
very
controller.
difficult. I'm going to be very real with you. Because you basically need to get up to here.
Or I just I fixed it.
No, do not plug the hole. Thank you.
Oh.
Yep.
It's standing.
I just wanted to get the box. That's why I wasn't going for the win. Uh oh. I didn't go for the win because I was going for the box.
Oh.
Alright, I see.
Rudy is just like, the gloves come off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oop. Oh, okay.
Now we're even.
Some more even than others. I wonder if that's gonna even work.
Damn.
Oop. Did that even work? No, it didn't.
Roasted horse.
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
Monsters Inc. meme. Oh, you're still alive down there. Oh no, never mind. I thought that
No,
was
I'm dead.
Jason.
No. I'd have been amazed if Jason was still. Okay, how did you not die from that one? How did you not
No,
die
it's
from
like-
that one?
It did not look like that on my screen.
Okay.
Here, we need more traps over here on the right. Actually, I'm gonna put this right here.
Gonna put this right here.
Wait, is that slippery wall? No! No! Good luck!
Don't need it. Sure, SWAT. Tell me a joke right now. That won't contain me.
No solo win.
Yeah, okay. No solo win.
Oh, you took the good one.
Yeah, I took the good one. Imagine if you could sticky a black hole.
You might be able to.
Oh,
What?
did you not pay
Hey!
attention to where I put the black hole?
No! That's so mean. You didn't pay attention where I put the black hole last round.
Oh,
That's so mean. That's my way.
It's me. That was how I was going to go. All right. Oh, it's so mean.
Uh-huh. What? I just barely touched the water.
God damn it.
Oh! Oh! I was like, what the hell are you doing putting that metal thing there? Alright, alright.
Really?
Yeah, make it harder, why not?
Ooh.
Get ready for the tiebreaker.
Don't you win because? Oh, okay.
Wait, what the fuck am I doing?
Died.
Why would I go that way? Why did I go that way? Good job, I guess. Okay. Alright, Jason, I'm sorry if you end up in the crossfire, okay?
Okay.
I can't play nice when I'm in such a competitive spirit.
Oof. It's just you and me, Rudy, are just like having it on, like real competitive, and Jason's like, it's great to be on games.
I'm just happy I was invited.
Yay.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Back
Wait,
to
did we
your
not get that last time? I thought we did.
Sir Dragonx88 thinks you should do 20 squats.
I think it's a different one. Yeah, I definitely waited until you got it last time. Don't worry, I won't make the same mistake.
Oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Have fun down there.
Oh, did it disappear?
No, it's still over there. But the waves are gonna come again.
Damn it.
It looks like you're in your natural habitat.
Damn it. All right, I just need to put another thingy-me-diggy there to make it an easier jump.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Easier
No
jump.
black holes, please.
Once I'm in like a clearing, then I'll be able to. Ah, damn it. I need to do my 20 squats.
Alright,
One.
I'll hold up for you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
It's on
7,
the last game too.
8, 9, fair enough, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, my knees. All right. First and foremost, this.
Uh-huh.
You can't put that there, Jason.
Oh, he'll find a way. Yeah, you have fun up there.
Wait, it's not there. Why is it not
It might
there
have
anymore?
disappeared. Did we not get it? Having fun, Grant?
Yep.
Aw, damn. Alright.
Consistency from me at least.
I don't think you can jump over double. I know you can jump over one.
Oh,
I wouldn't have. You know, You probably could
I
have
need-
made
I
up
need
that
it-
thing right there.
I need to like do the jump like on the first go, basically. Otherwise, not happening.
Huh, okay.
I'm not giving you that.
No! Stop it!
Ooh, interesting.
Man, what do I even do with this? I am
You know,
not
if you're
letting
close
have to
enough,
win.
like if you can time it. Yes, yes. Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
You were worried you're gonna hit that little corner and be like, oh,
No,
duh.
I was just not gonna let you win. Not like that.
Ooh, punch. Wait, what? Oh.
Why would you do that?
I thought I could jump onto the flower, but I don't think the pot had. I didn't reach the pot in time.
No! Ah!
Oh, that was a close one. You're excited for the fourth John Wick movie? I'm excited as well for the fourth John Wick movie, quite
I've
frankly.
only seen the first one, no spoilers.
Get through the second and third one. It's important. Oop,
Oh god.
I haven't seen any.
Oh.
I don't. Nah, if you could somehow time the ocean. So it's water. Run. Okay, here we go. I'm kind of also using this as like a measurement of can I get through it. Yep. Oof. Really cutting it close with that one.
Yeah, that's not how I was planning on doing that. Oh boy.
Good
Alright.
going. All right.
I
Yep,
win.
that's your win.
I win.
Because yeah, you had like you already had like 4
You know you can
wins with
save
the
maps,
survival.
right?
Sorry.
You can save the maps.
Oh yes, save and share map. I'm good.
Yeah,
Alright.
just in the future, if you get an extraordinary level.
You said that was your last match, Jason, wasn't it? What time is it? Oh, it's 8:42. So, which must is it 9:42 for you then, Jason? The third one has a start. Okay then.
It is.
Well, do we want to call it a night then? Because it's getting close to like the end of the night for me, and I've kind of gone through 4 days straight without like the proper length of time for sleep. Actually,
Oh wait, have you been streaming Ultimate Chicken Horse this whole time?
what do you mean this whole time?
Oh, I mean for 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
What did
I'm
you
really
think?
Late to the party.
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's fine. This is just one of my favorite games. If you ever want to play this with someone, you can text me.
Yeah, no, okay. So one of the things I have a thought of is because this Ultimate Chicken Horse one was kind of like sort of thrown together in like a week or two, and I'm having a bit of a bad habit in only doing like party games or something, or rather with only like a week or two of a heads up, which isn't really that great. So one of the things I'm thinking, I need to like, rather than planning streams like only a week ahead of time, I think I'm gonna have to like do a thing where it's like, all right, let me set up a stream, a month ahead of time. So for example, set like either the first Saturday or the last Saturday of the month. No, don't write Amogus in my chat. I'm gonna move here. Actually, and yeah, quit to the desktop because
Sorry.
yeah, because this is all because I'm like about done. But putting in a plan of either like, you know, the first Saturday of the month or the last Saturday of the month doing a sort of party game. So it could either be, you know, going into Final Fantasy 14 and trying to do like any raids or grinds or something like that, and try and have like people involved with it. So then that way it's not just a solo thing in Final Fantasy, but then also the opportunity for the more classic party games, such as Ultimate Chicken Horse, Mario Kart, or maybe even Mario Party. And if I do it as like a once a month thing, then there's the greater likelihood that, you know, people are, you know, caught on to, you know, that sort of event. And it gives me like, you know, 3 weeks to sort of, you know, knock on as many people as possible and be like, hey, would you be up for this? And, you know, not grab people who are, you know, don't have time to practice or don't have time to take care of themselves and such, so they don't go into the stream, you know, tired or cranky or, you know, late to the party or something like that. What do you think?
It's almost 4 a.m. for me.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. So
I got work tomorrow too.
okay then. Well, I got work tomorrow as well, actually. Jason, what about you?
I
For
don't.
you flip the
I
clock
don't.
upside down.
Okay. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water then.
I'm free as a bird. I do have a
Uh,
house
Lucky.
you had me. I don't actually use this account anymore, so I'm probably gonna move over to my real Discord.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Thank you again for coming into the stream, Rudy, for some games, because that was I really appreciate it, because Jason had dinner, Puffin was extra tired, and I hope Puffin's okay. I hope I didn't, you know, socially piss him off or anything like that. So I'll follow up with them tomorrow and be like, hey, thanks again and such. So yeah, but we need to
Well,
go on.
go ahead and reach out to me if you ever need someone to play Ultimate Chicken Horse, because I don't want you to be in a situation where this is the Ultimate Chicken Horse stream and there's nobody here, because that'll be the worst.
Agreed.
I've definitely had those streams where it was like either, you know, no one else was playing or maybe only one other person was playing and it was filled with bots. That has happened frankly twice for me, and both times it's been a case of I've maybe given people 2 weeks heads up tops rather than once a month. So that's something I want to work on. I just need to figure out whether it's going to be at the start of the month or at the end of the month, because I know I know some people also do that sort of thing where it's like the first Saturday or the last Saturday of the month they do something like Kusaki Desu does DJ sets, and I don't want to like set up a thingy-majiggy like a party game or something like that while a DJ set is going off, because either A, people have to choose, you know, whether they're going to, you know, enjoy the music or if they're gonna, you know, try and play a game. I don't know if they can do that twice, or there comes the scenarios where it's like, oh, I reckon it would be fun to play with Kusaki during one of these party streams, and then it's just sort of like I go to Kusaki and he's like, nah, can't do anything, I've got prior commitments and such. So gotta figure these things out. So
I do hope to hit more of your streams, but you really start like at 1 a.m. for me all the time.
yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I've introduced the Sunday morning streams. I've been able to commit to that a little more often now. I'm a little sleep deprived, I will be real with you, when it happens. So like if you like seeing this stuff, but you know, timing on the Friday, Saturday, Monday isn't suitable, Sunday morning for me is Saturday evening for you and such. Yeah. Would be cool to see some peeps in there, because that's depending on the content, like that's starting to be my lowest day, just because, you know, it's so early in the morning and I'm starting to get some Australian peeps here and there, because you know, most insomniacs are, you know, watching me in insomniac hours. They're not watching me at normal hours. So but yeah.
Bob.
Nah, fair enough. Before we go, however, I want to get us started for a raid. We're gonna go raid into actually Kusaki Desu, as he is currently doing Sonic thingy-majiggy, Sonic Adventures 2. We'll see how he's doing with that one. And oh, Rudy's left. Okay. thank you again, Jason, for the for joining in on the Ultimate Chicken Horse. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna get our raid message started. Yes, I will hydrate. If you are subscribed, you can use the following raid message with the emotes. If you're not subscribed, then you can use what other emotes you wish. That's fine. If you want to catch up on any retweets or when I might be streaming next, check out my Twitter. If you wish to support me in any way, feel free to subscribe, retweet, or check out my Twitter's not working. Or check out my throne. I'm currently saving up for a CPU. I get paid tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to be contributing to that myself as well. But if anyone else wants to contribute, that's greatly appreciated. But otherwise, thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I want to try and do more of these party games more often, and I'll try and get some proper planning involved. In the meantime, let's get ready to raid into Kusaki in a few seconds. Bye for now.
Bye.